Hello guys, and welcome to another video today. This time for something different on the channel, some more Forza. I haven't done Forza in a long time, and this is for a DRL race around the Indianapolis. It was a one-off Indy 500 race, or Indy 250 in some terms, and this actually was our second attempt at doing it, because the first time didn't go very well. We had someone take people out in the race, but this is the first time me doing any sort of indie stuff, and yeah, it's been a bit of a time of me just trying to explore different things and try and do different things in league racing. So this is one of the first things to do, and I want to come back to Forza and do this. And a group first decided to do an Indy 250, a bit of a fun race, but kind of sort of, I don't know where we go already, a bit more of a formal thing. But here we go, we're down in last place pretty much, and we have to literally just lift off, let everyone go through, and oh my god, in front of us, I think our Stracho just went spinning, and he's gone already from the start of the race. And I was very cautious in the first sort of corners or so, but we did actually do a race beforehand, and I was leading that. And there's another crash seemingly as well, and they're both taking each other out. Some more people gone as well. We're at the 5th place, but it just was like a one-off Indy 500, Indy 250, and I haven't won a league race in over a year, so I thought, you know what, let's try something different into the F1. And see if I get any more luck in anything else. Yeah, doing this, something different, and I thought I'd just try it out after the Indy 500. I really enjoyed watching the Indy 500 this year, and I thought, you know what, I just want to try it again, try something on Forza again, and if this is going to be something fun, then why not? Matty12 Gaming, his YouTube channel, he's also it's quite a big YouTube channel. I think a lot of you guys probably would know him anyway in the community, and he's in this race too, and I've always wanted to race against him and I haven't been able to, and the fact that I was able to get the race against him, even though we've sort of known each other for about a year now, it's been great. But this group in front of us was really annoying, because I was down in 5th place and I couldn't do anything. The top 4 were battling away so much at the start of the race, I just couldn't catch them, so I was getting really irritated, and by sort of 42 minutes in, and this is actually an endurance race basically, we couldn't do 100 laps, but you can see we were caught up to them a little bit as they're holding each other up as they're battling away, and we started sort of catching them up a little bit, and we are catching now, and I was getting a bit irritated with being down in 5th place. I was like, you know what, I'm not getting any action here, and I felt I had decent pace to be able to be up there, but now we see a little bit of context being made, and they've been battling for a very long time, and we're going to have a run, and we're going to get into 4th place, and now we've got another person who's been slow as well. I can't see from my monitor, I think that's, I don't know, Morgs I think it is, and we're now in 3rd place, and we're behind Matt and Morvik, and in the first race Morvik was way behind, so he's right there in the top 3, and us 3 were pretty much the top 3 runners in terms of pace around here, so we had probably the best experience in terms of Forza League racing. So us 3 are going for it right now, and just to let you know, this actually was a DRL it was formally held. This is a formally held event, formally organised and everything, and they did a very good job at it. It's a shame there wasn't as many people as possible, but we're right behind Morvik and Matt, and we're battling away for ages, and I will ride on board. I'll let you guys watch on board with a lot of the battling we do have, but it was very close. And the thing with this game with Forza, the reception isn't very good, but look at that, we're going to go alongside Morvik. We've got a really good run from the last corner, and we're going to be on the inside, and he gives us the space. It's all about trying to trust your opponent, and we do trust each other very well. We give the space, he gave the space, very fair racing indeed, and obviously this is quite an early stage in the race, so really you don't want to be ruining your chances at this stage. It's about trying to just, and this is what you got to learn. It's something you got to learn in these sort of races. An endurance race, you got to take the opportunities, later on, and be careful what you do early in the race, because what you do early will affect what you do at the end. And it's something that you do learn when you do F1 league racing. I am an F1 league racer. That's what primarily I do. This, if anything, just was good to see if I could still have that almost wanting to win feel. I have not been able to win a league race on F1, and that's because I've been put myself in leagues that have very good drivers and very quick drivers, and that's fair enough. But I was trying to see if I had I still had the ability to want to win, that mindset that I wanted to get in front and win and lead the race, and that's what I wanted to test. And if I had the mental capabilities of just trying to keep in the game for a whole for a whole race, when I'm trying to battle for the lead, and this race proved that in essence. And after a year of just not being able to win, that's that. But once again, the Morvik's right once again, and he's right on our right hand side. And I might go on a bit of a tangent in this race because, you know, it's only so much I can talk about when we're going wheel to wheel. You have to watch what's happening. But right now, we literally are just 3 abreast, pretty much. 3 of us just in close proximity. I'm right behind Matt now, and we've got a little bit of a run here. And you know, first of all, but now a lag situation happened, and luckily this was our pit stop window. So luckily that happened then, and I lost a lot of time from that, and that was a bit unusual. I closed it so much and it just lagged back. So we're into pits now, and myself and the Morvik is into the pits, and Matt continued on for another lap. So he was going a little bit longer. I think he was trying the one less stop in this race. I think he tried a 2-stop. Me and Morvik did a 3-stop, so he did one less stop than us in this race, and this plans out to be quite an interesting race towards the end of the race, to the overlapping strategy. But we're in and we serve it. It's quite a long pit stop compared to Formula 1 F1 games, but we actually got jumped by the Morvik. Obviously that is to be expected. Obviously he was in the pits first, and we're away once again in my lovely blue and yellow livery that I did make before the race. I was planning to use the Honda, I think, this car first. You know, I felt this was a better car compared to the Honda, and I was trying to find different setups. Then I got told before the lobby started that we weren't allowing setups, even though I thought we were, and I was told initially that we were. But now Matt is into the pit lane, and we're right behind Morvik. We've pulled back up to him again, and we're in the slipstream right now, and we see that Matt's exiting the pits, and we're in the same party, and Matt knew that we were coming very quickly, and he's actually out the exit now, so he's a little bit slow initially, and it's going to be a bit tight between us three. But here we go, he's slow at the pit lane, he's in front, but he won't be in front for long, as we're already up to speed ourselves. He isn't, and we're slipstreaming him, and we go to the right hand side, we're leaving some space, we go round the outside of Matt, and we get the move just about done. He's still there. We've got to leave the space. Got to use your mirrors if you're using the first-person camera. First-person camera, and we get him. We're now closing on the Morvik as well, and we're having a little look. But can we make the move stick? We look to the right hand side. We just literally had no space on the inside. He was covering us off very well, and we're just trying to find some sort of run. But now we cut on a little bit of lag. This is actually the move for the lead of the race. It is. The frame rate's gone to Narnia. I will admit that I am sorry about that, but that is a lead taken. This will sort itself out later. There's more moves for the lead later, of course. It's always going to happen in these sort of races. But once again, Matt's drilling in, once again, us three, and we're just literally, it's just us three fighting it out for pretty much 42 minutes in. It was us, all the way to the end. And that was an incredible, fantastic race, as we're all just trying to find some space, and Matt's trying to get past me because we're trying to go different lines. And the thing with this game, the slipstream, you hit the slipstream initially, but then towards the end of the slipstream, you just lose it, you don't get it, you don't gain anything extra. So that was the most annoying thing about the slipstream in this game, when you gain it and then you lose it towards the end of the slipstream phase. And that's what was always happening to all of us. We tried to slipstream each other, tried everything we could, but towards the end of the stream it wasn't active anymore, so it isn't working. But right now, you got the Morvik right behind us right now. Matt's there still as well, and they're going wheel to wheel with each other as well. And in the party, it was so nerve-wracking because everyone, I was like, me and Matt and Morvik would just change each other. I think I'm on the left-hand side, I'm going left, or I'm going right, just to make sure that we're all aware. And I think I did tell Matt that I was running the first-person camera before the race. A lot of people run the third-person camera in Forza. I like the first person. That's what I do. I like the. I think it's more of an experience. It feels more faster in my opinion. But right now, again, is another scenario where Matt's. I think it's Morvik actually trying to go to the inside. We leave a little bit of room there, just in case he does go for it. But Matt, yeah, I think at this point we're starting to get like some sort of notifications. I think he was starting to drop off a little bit, and that's more. I don't know what I was, but I think he just lost a little bit of concentration. In that sense, but right now Morvik's on our right hand side. We're going to leave the space, and you just got to leave your space. But I started to learn how to really defend around this sort of track, and people say, oh well, you're just going left, you're just turning left. But the thing is, when people are slipstreaming each other and you're gaining on the straights, you got to position your car well, and there alongside you got to position your car well so they're going for the move. And whenever the Morvik or Matt had a go or had a run, I had to position my car in the middle of the track, on more towards the left hand side, and position my car well so they couldn't go to the inside. And that's why I kept learning that throughout the race. You just keep learning, and I was learning how to defend on an oval like this, and it was quite an experience actually. I mean, it was quite cool. I really enjoyed it, and I kept to my left hand side, I kept to the left hand side as much as I could, because I knew the right hand side was slower, and I made sure I kept, whenever they had a run, the left hand side, as much to the left hand side as possible, so I could defend my position. And you see, the Morvic's trying everywhere he can, right, left, everywhere, and he could get to the left hand side, and he's left hand side right now, so he's alongside me now, and I couldn't do much, and he's slipstreaming me. I'm going to the left hand side a little bit, I'm going to still leave some space, but he won't go for it. He's not close enough once again, so he can't do anything. And this is pretty much the whole rest of the race, all the way throughout, and this is what we were doing, and it was so cool. So I really enjoyed this. This is just incredible, and it was such an experience, because like I'll be able to take this into like Podcast 2. We do plan the league race on, because obviously this can have Indianapolis in it as well. So I do plan to do Indy then, and I am doing the Portugal's Indy League as well right now, which isn't the best for a pad, but we'll just have some fun and get into some sort of more sim stuff. But this is the idea. I'm just trying to get more like adventurous with with league racing. I want to try and go back and forth again after a year, and I think this was an amazing event to do, and we've got again just thank DRL, everyone who arranged it in DRL to do this one-off event and do this one-off event, even with people who are not in the league. You know, I'm not in the DRL, and they're happy to have me race, and that was awesome. And it was formally held, and it was great, and everyone wanted to win. You know, me and Matt, everyone wanted to win, and the fact me and Matt and Morvic were having a massive battle. I mean, us three have all raced, I think, in Forza leagues on this game, so it was quite cool to race against people who've actually done stuff. All three of us have done stuff. Not me, not so much, but you know, I've done about a few races on this game. Obviously with the V8 supercars back in AOR a year ago, but this is the first time back, and I really thoroughly enjoyed this race. But look, you see, again, just Morvic's trying to poke his nose at some places. He has a run now actually, and he's got a little bit of a run. He's on the left hand side, he's closing it, and you get a bit of a side draft in this game as well. Very unrealistic, but we cover him off. He's still not been able to catch us and get up the inside, so we're still keeping it in the lead right now. But if you imagine this, every lap you're under pressure. You're right. The guy behind you is right there, all the way, right near your gearbox, all the way around the circuit. You cannot make a single mistake, and this is what you have. This is something that I need to know that I still had. That I couldn't make a mistake. I had to know that I could still not make a mistake, and we're coming into pits right now once again. But as I was saying, like, that looks like really easy to you. You're going left hand side, left, driving left. But that means you can't make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, you're losing time around this whole circuit. So you make a mistake and you land on the grass and you start like oversteering. That whole lap's ruined. It takes you at least another lap or a lap and a half to get back up to speed again. So that was something that, again, I need to know that I still had, because in F1 it relates as well. Like, if, you know, and there's more big jumpers in the pits actually, and that's just where we're actually inside each other. And look at that, we're inside each other, and it's like, you know what? At this point I was like, I'm not leaving this position, I want to have this position. And I was coming out of the pit because I was like, you know what, no, I want this position, this is mine. I was leading going into the pit lane, and now I'm behind. I'm like, no, we're going to be inside each other. But I was like, you know what, not worth it, I'll let him have it. He has to move, he's now into P1. And I knew there was still 26 minutes of this race to go. I'm on his right hand side, I'm trying to get around the right hand side, but I can't do it. It's not the fastest line, I couldn't do it. And we just kept racing. Now close to the wall there, that was legit pushing it on limits. So we've got a really good run actually on the Morvic here, and we cut back on him, and here we go. We go to the left hand side, we're pulling, and we are pulling very quickly, and we're on the inside, he gives us a space, and he's trying his hardest, but we're on the inside. We take back the provisional race lead as Matt continues on. I think he's going longer because obviously he pitted a lap later previously. He's going to be going longer, actual lap longer, so we're now back into the provisional race lead for now, with 25 minutes to go. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, run this track, okay, it's only just turning left, but that means you cannot make a single mistake. If you make a single mistake and you're back into the lead again, you know, that's the whole lap ruined. It takes you another lap and a half to get back up to speed again, and you cannot make a single mistake, and that's what keeps you on the edge. As someone like Morvic, who was right behind me all the way from 42 minutes in all the way to the end, you cannot make a single mistake, and you've got to be absolutely pinpoint accurate all the time, and that's something that I need to know that I still had. And the race to F1, you know, if you're leading the race in F1 or on the podium, you've got to make sure you make zero mistakes when that guy behind you is trying to chase you down. and I need to know that I had that competitive mindset to do that and under pressure, and I was. But we are catching some traffic right now, and this is coming into the pits once again. Nothing much happened in the previous stint between the second stop and the third stop. This is our third stop actually, so actually this actually was a 4-stop race for us, not a 3-stop. Yeah, we've got more stuff to make, I think, in this race, with Matt only needing to make one more stop because he's actually just doing a 3-stop. But yeah, it was just so cool to know that I still had it, still, and no matter whatever, no matter if it's Formula 1 or Indy or anything, it still relates. It's league racing. That is what it is, and you have to make sure you're on it. And the fact that I knew that after this race, I knew I could still have it and still have it. That's quite good to know, because I did feel like I haven't been able to win a league race because my mentality, maybe my competitiveness, my competitive mindset isn't as good as it was back on previous F1 games, and I need to know that I need to test myself and know myself that it was still there, and this race proved that. And that's why, I thank DRL for it. I think I thank everyone in Matt and Morvick especially. He pushed me to the absolute limit in this race and kept with me all the way to the end. But right now Morvick's right on us again, and it's really close once again with 40 minutes to go. And any mistake in this last stage could hurt us. And we actually have understeered, and he's on our inside, and he fancies his chances to Morvick, and he's really looking for a gap. We're leaving the space, and we've got some traffic in front as well, and he's coming, and he really was putting the pressure on now. This is where the pressure was increasing. This is the last stage. I was leading the whole race pretty much from 42 minutes in, 40 minutes to go, and now it's all time, and he's on our inside now. We leave the space, we're leaving as much space as possible, and without actually giving him a massive advantage, and he's right there on our inside. And look, see, I'm a car width in front at this point, and I cut across, and contact's made, so he must have gained last minute, and luckily we didn't spin into the barrier, otherwise we would have damaged. And luckily, okay, I lose the net race lead to the Morvick, but we're now behind him, and this proved, I was very lucky there, but this proved a little bit hesitant, because the Morvick had learned everything that from me. Like, I legit, where I was driving and defending, like keeping my car towards the left hand side more when he was right behind me, he learned that from me. He saw what I was doing, and he was learning and picking that up. It was picking that up and picking up my techniques of defending, and he used that against me. And that was how challenging this last 15 minutes of the 13 minutes of this race was. It was horrific, and now I'm just trying absolutely everything to get past him. And in my head I was like, I might have lost this race. I was like, this is my best chance to win this race, and we're in a league racing every year. I was like, I might have just lost this. I might have dropped the penny there to get across. But now we're gaining and gaining and gaining, and we get to the left hand side. But look at that, last minute I couldn't. He moved across last minute, and I backed way out of it. I was like, oh my god, this guy. And I was like, this guy has learned my techniques. He watched me the way I defend, and he's used it. He's using it against me now. I was like, this is going to be a tough end to the race. And in the slipstream, once again, look and see, I'm gaining, but I just can't. At the end of the slipstream, it stops. It cuts, and I can't do anything. I'm just trying everything. I'm trying different lines. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do like straight from right to left, get the cut back on him, try and get a launch off. It wasn't happening. It was not happening. And look, I'm gaining. You see the feeling of the for the controller, you can feel the slipstream. It just wasn't translating at all. And I was look how close we are. I'm pushing as hard. So I was like, you know what? If I've lost this race, I'm just gonna push as hard as I can, just push him around the track. So I'm forcing him in any area, because I knew psychologically, I was like, I might have lost this race, but I was like, you know what? I've learned to never give up, and you can never ever give up. I was like, I'm just gonna try everything I can. Just go all out for it. Just try different lines, because I have nothing to lose. Literally on the grass there at that point. I lost a little bit of time there. And look, we're counting down last 11 minutes of this race, and we're just not there. We're just not there. And Matt is also, let's go on to this, he's still leading this race. He hasn't pitted. He's pitting soon for his last stop, I think. I might have already done it already. But now we're on the Morvick. We're now battling away, actually, and now look at this. We're coming on to the next laps, and we're right there with him once again. There's still nothing happening. We've tried everything we can, and the last 10 minutes was becoming a little bit desperate, because I still was knocked off because I didn't have to move over a lot on him like that. Even though I was a colour width in front, colour length in front, I felt that I could have, and seemingly on his screen it wasn't that way. But we're catching him once again. Look how close we are, but no, it just cuts off the slipstream, and that's hugely irritating and so annoying. It really is. But now let's try and do everything, risk it all, put it on the line. We're right there with him on his gearbox. We've got a good run, but look, he goes to the left hand side. He's learned exactly what we were doing earlier. He's using it against us, and he's fair to do that. And and he's using it against us very well. And I could feel what he was feeling when he was behind me for a good 27 minutes of the race. I could feel what he was feeling. But all we can do now is try, and we're dragging and we're trying everything. It's just nothing is happening. But now it's just becoming ever so more desperate. Every single lap that goes by, we're crossing the line, everything is becoming desperate. We're just trying to go wide and slow in, fast out, and we're doing that. We've got a really good run now. We go to the left hand side, and he's squeezing us towards the left hand side. We're alongside, he's freezing us, he's squeezing, but it is our best opportunity, our only opportunity. We go on the inside, he goes to the right hand side, he leaves us the space, and we get into the lead, and that was an amazing overtake. And I thank him, actually, in his own ways, for doing that to me. I thank him for pushing me all the way to the left hand side as far as he could, because that overtake was one of the best overtakes in this race, because that was a very important overtake, and that was one that I had to make stick, and I felt that was probably one of the only opportunities, one of the last opportunities I had to take the race lead, and I took it with both hands. He pushed me to the left hand side as much as he could, and that was it, and we did it, and that was it. We're back into the lead once again with 8 minutes to go, and this was incredible to know, and to be back in the lead again, and to know I got it back. But Matt was telling me that he wasn't pitting, he didn't have to pit again, so I was like, we in the Morvic had to, because you can see the fuel gauge is running a little bit, it's getting lower and lower and lower every time we go around, so we had to pit again. So the race was not over at this point. It was not over, and it wasn't over because Morvic, he's right there around us. He's slipstreaming us all the way, like the stint between lap 42 from 42 minutes to go to 15 minutes to go. Same way, and he's trying everything he can as well. He's trying everything as well. Now he's the lead once again. He's just twice to me after being in front. He's probably thinking, how is this guy doing it? How has he been able to do it and get past me? And he's probably irritated with himself. And now we've got a butt marker in front. But now we're coming into pit lane with 4 minutes to go. And at this point, I was like, Matt might have this race. But I didn't realise it until I came out of pit lane. I was like, oh, I'm not rejoining the lead. I was like, okay. But this is our final stop of the race. Matt does not have to pit again. So he's going to the end, and he's going to have to fuel conserve as much as possible. And that's what he was doing. He was fuel conserving as much as he can towards the end of the race, because he knew that was his only chance to win the race. And we were away once again. I think he lost a lot of time once we met with notifications and stuff, so he had problems with that. But now we're going to join in second place. But I didn't actually realise that at first. I actually thought I was rejoining in first. A mistake. I was wrong. And we're now behind Matt, and we're a good 1,000 metres, 1,000, and he's going up and up and up. See, he's already up to racing speed, and we're not. So, I think it's probably got to about 2,000, I believe it did, the gauge, and I was like, oh my god, and we're just fast forwarding it here, and we're catching Matt as much as we can. He's saving his fuel, he's trying to get to the end, and we're catching as fast as we can. We've got 2 minutes to go, and then we're towards the end of this. It's the last minute 20 to go, and we see Matt, he's in our sights now. Traffic will just go out of the way perfectly, and we see him. He's a couple of hundred feet in front of us, and we're catching. He's having to slow down in the corners to save his fuel, and this was tense. The last minute is coming up right now, and I knew this was it. Matt knew this was it. This was for the race win, and this was last minute, last chance. We had to do it, and otherwise we would have lost it. And here we come, we're slipstreaming him. He's lost time, obviously, because he's saving as well. We go to the right hand side, he's going to try and fight with us as well. He's going to go on the inside, and we're going to leave him the space. He's leaving as much space as possible. He's still there, but he backs out because he knows his fuel is gone, and his fuel spent for. And right now we're heading into the final lap of the race, and I didn't know if he had enough fuel to battle me, so I kept battling with him. I knew the intensity was high. Everything. If I made one single mistake, it was done. It was finished. we lost the win. And 20 seconds to go right now. I actually thought I had to make the whole race distance, and look, he's backed off, he's gone. He has to save his fuel because he's now running out of fuel, and the more Vic will be catching him as well. And with 10 seconds to go, and at this point I thought I had couple more corners to go, and I was like, oh my god, I've done this, I've actually won this race. And here we come, it's going to be a win, and we've done it, we've won the race. At this point I didn't think I did, I thought I actually like that was on big, but we won, and I was so happy. For over a year I've been struggling to win a league race, and we finally have won a race. It took me, I think, last win I had in any competitive environment was like I think April 2016, something like that. So we finally won. Thank you to DRL, thank you to Matt and the Morvit for giving me a great race. It was awesome. I enjoyed it so much, and this is just great, and to be part of this is incredible. So guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe for more content on the channel, and thanks for support as always. And I'll see you for another video very soon. Thanks guys, see you in a bit. Bye boys.
Like you